I actually used to work at a Thai restaurant because I miss the food so much and they give me free meals. um, yeah, the food, it was interesting. There is a variety of food. Not all of it's spicy, you know, against popular belief. I actually had a companion because I loved spicy food once I got used to it. I can now eat a lot more spicy food than most of my friends who served in South American countries or in Mexico. Because they always used to brag they'd like eat jalapenos in my face and make me try to eat it as a dare or something and I'd die. But now I eat jalapenos like they're candy. They're super sweet to me and not very spicy anymore. But the main staple down there is something called somtam that we know as papaya salad. What they do is they take unripened papaya and shred it up, so it's almost like a coleslaw feel to it. But then they add in a whole bunch of ingredients, and when they make it for you, they ask you how many peppers you want in that, and they're whole Thai chilies. The highest I ever got to was 16, and I wanted to die. But normally I got like a 5 or a 6, and that was plenty spicy for me. But again, another thing, I had a companion in the field who called me one of the most boring people when it came to food because I used to just get fried rice everywhere I went. I ate it for lunch, breakfast, dinner. Like, I loved fried rice for some reason. It was very different than Chinese fried rice. It's very fresh, and they put a lot more lime into it, so it's very sour as well. I thought it was delicious. But my companion always called me boring because of it. But yeah, the food was just so amazing. And most of the times, we just eat from street vendors. A lot of people would think that's unhealthy, and it looks unhealthy. But it's actually surprisingly cheaper to eat out than it is to buy the food and cook it yourself. And most of the members, they own restaurants. Restaurants are just opened up out of a person's house, to be honest with you. There was one person named Brother Nung, and he was in the Bangkok area. And that's where the best food is, because all the people will come from the east and the north who make really good food, and they come to Bangkok to make food, because that's where most of the population is based on. So you get the best food in Bangkok, that's without a doubt. And this member, Brother Nung, his restaurant was really close to our house when I was serving as an office elder. And I would run to his house, or run to his restaurant every morning, get fried rice and spring rolls. And what I would do is I'd run about probably roughly 2 or 3 miles for exercise in the morning. I'd stop by, pick up food for the APs, as well as, because at that time I think there were 3 office elders. There was me and then 2 companions, and one of them would stay at the house, and the other one would run with me because the other one hated running. But he made the best food ever. And there's a thing called tamsang, which literally means by your order. And most of the restaurants are like that. You just go up to them and you say, hey, I just want this, and they'll make it for you. It might not even be on the menu, but they'll make it for you. And it's really nice because food is super cheap. You can get a plate of rice and curry on top for $1 and like throw on like 10 cents for a drink. It's awesome. There wasn't too many things that were insanely crazy. Like, you could eat bugs and stuff. Like, guys would go around on their little motorcycle carts and have like this display where they had like crickets or maggots that were like seasoned and deep fried or something. Those were actually really good. They tasted like potato chips because they were seasoned in like some chili powder and stuff like that. It was absolutely delicious. I thought it was weird at first, and then I ate them on a regular basis, and it freaked out greenies. But one thing I want to talk about, in Thailand, the food is actually very, very important to culture. They look at, especially dinner when they're eating together as a family or as like a group of people, they really look at food as not at all like we do. Normally what we do is we talk while we're eating and stuff like that, but it's actually very impolite to have discussions while you're eating over there. And obviously, in the handbook it says, you know, don't leave any food on your plate or something like that. But in Thailand, you want to leave a little bit of food on your plate because otherwise they'll continue to feed you. And they're very poor families over there. So they need, and they just, like I said, they love missionaries. There were times where we were walking down and this complete stranger family would just invite us in for dinner. And they wanted to hear our message. But it is there is one sentence in Thai that if you don't feel comfortable eating something, you can just say you don't know how to eat it. And they brush that off. But you can't just refuse a dish or something like that. It's very, very rude. I had a companion, he had to learn that lesson the hard way. We were actually, it was sad. We were never invited to that home again. But it's important to just accept as much food as you feel comfortable with, and you just have to use that gift of discernment to figure out, you know, should I be eating this or not? There was one case where this guy had made snails and the snails weren't all the way cooked, and I just felt like I shouldn't eat those. And so I just said, I don't know how to eat this. And he's just like, okay, and then he was perfectly fine with that. So that's a very key phrase in Thai to learn, is saying, I don't know how to eat this.